I want to introduce to you Jayce Grayye. He is a cold calling assassin, and he's recently launched his new program, which is going to help anybody that's interested in cold calling or is in the process right now of cold calling. And I've had the personal pleasure already of meeting him. We work on the same project together, and he's actually taught me a lot. As most of you already know, I'm very good at sales, been very good, but not so much in the cold calling era. I mean, if I want to be brutally honest, I mean the cold calling that I used to do was like back from 1996 when I was a teenager, and that was a method called
Huh?
slamming. It was very different.
Yeah.
It's just very high pressure, $100 deals. Just knocking them out one at a time. But in the realm that we're working in now of the remote space, we're focused more on high ticket, and we want to make sure that we perform for that. And as you already know, a lot of people we work with are people that don't necessarily have those warm leads that most of us are looking for. So it's good to develop a cold calling technique, not just for the opportunities that we work on, but it's also good for when you're in business for yourself. Eventually you're gonna want to launch a business. If you're an entrepreneur like me, you're gonna want to launch your own business. But without further ado, I would like to invite Jayce. Jayce, can you hear us?
Yeah, I could hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud
Perfect,
and
man.
clear, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, first of all, I want to tell the audience that how we met, like on this opportunity. I was trying to figure out like how to cold call, right? So I just did a couple of things to see if what I knew worked, and it's always like a matter of just changing the style to make sure that it's effective. But when I jumped on a call with you, and the few tips that I was able to pick up just on the call that you were on, I actually implemented them and was able to get some conversions immediately. So I wanted you to share with everybody like who you are, where you come from, just anything about you, man. Anything that you're willing to share, brother.
No, absolutely. So first and foremost, thank you for having me. I know that when we first met, it was kind of funny how we connected and how pretty much the relationship that you and I built right after that was like, one of a kind. But pretty much, guys, anybody who knows me or knows a little bit of me, I've been in the sales arena for over 10 years. Got very blessed at a very young age that I was able to grow up in a luxury car dealership growing up. And then actually my first sales career was actually selling cars, sold it for 3 years. And then after 3 years, never really crashed over 45,000 or close to 50,000. And then I went into vacation sales, selling for cruise lines, packages, and that's when I really cleared six figures. And then 3 years exact to this date, actually, I was actually terminated for giving somebody a sale. And then I went to go ahead and work for Grant Cardone, who some of you may know, some of you who may not. But if you guys know who Grant Cardone is, he's one of the top sales experts out there in the arena. And pretty much my method was I wanted to sharpen my skills in every aspect, every single part where I felt was lacking in order to make sure by the time I got out of there, I would be either, an assassin or a ninja on the phone. And I know some of you who may know me know that when I'm on the phone, whether if it's cold calling, whether if I'm negotiating, I literally feel like I have full control of the conversation. I will push it down someone's throat if I believe that product or service is definitely worth it. So you've heard my recordings, Virgil's. I don't know how many times you've heard them, but that's the way
I
I
still
roll.
study them.
Yeah, yeah. And like I always say, repetition makes permanent. So it's a lot of repetition that I've taken over those 2.5 years working for Grant and applying those skills every single day.
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, like I said, I already know that you can perform. I've seen you do it, and I think you're absolutely right. Uh, one thing that I've understood in the industry is that there are times when it is, um, I guess you can say that the style of cold calling that you do is extremely effective and extremely helpful. And in a lot of industries, like especially now, they try to promote that the pushy style of closing is not really the way to do it. But in some cases, it's actually the only way to get past that one breakthrough. Like most of the time when we think about a cold call, you're calling somebody that you're interrupting them in their day, calling them. They might be in the middle of something. They might be doing something that they want to, or in other words, when they get your call, They might be already like kind of having a bad day or in a bad mood. And the first reaction in most cases that we get is a straight hang up, right? And so you were telling me that while you were doing this cold calling process that you started out with a lot of calls, right? I mean, we're talking
Yeah.
about like how many calls before you got a conversion on your first time when you first
So
started
yes.
implementing this?
So when it comes to cold calling, it's really having that understanding of the expectation of what it really takes, right? A lot of us are like, maybe five, maybe 10 dials, maybe 15, 20, but that's not ever the case. When it comes to cold calling, you have to really understand your conversions. And by understanding your conversions, then you're able to implement what are the amount of reps that you need in order to perfect your graph. So by you understanding your conversions on a cold call, I hate to say this for whoever's watching, but it's a 3% conversion or less. And if you understand a 3% conversion or less, that basically means that you may talk to north of about 3 people and they most likely will hang up on you. So, when I started my career in cold calling, I would dial north of about, when I first started, it was about 200 dials. As I got, more and more and more reps, I realized that I needed to up those dials up to about close to 400 to 500 dials a day. Now, if you ask me on a dialer, how many dials can I dial in a day? I've done north of about 600 dials in a day. And it's very easy to do that, but it's the discipline that comes involved with it, meaning that I know that every single hour I'm going to be dialing 60 dials per hour. And by doing those dials, nothing else is getting involved. And I remember when, one day out of the month, I would pick up one day out of the month where I would go ahead and challenge myself to hit that $600 a day, right? And that means that I am literally going, should I say, balls to the walls with 10 hours straight, nonstop, barely any drinking water. If I do, it's right on my desk, and barely, nutrition bar on my desk. And it's just the whole time I'm just there clicking, clicking, clicking. That's the repetition. But it's understanding that the higher the repetition, the better you get. The better you get. See, when I first started cold calling, it literally took me $200 to make just one appointment. And for some of us, that's kind of demoralizing. Some of us don't know how to get rejected 200 times. Some of us can't really take it. But what I didn't know was if at $200 it took me to make one appointment, it can only get better from there. And guess what? If it took me $200, the more repetitions I got, it went going from every 200 to then every 150 to then every 100 to then every 50 to then now to me I can make an appointment. Some of you do know me. If you give me a list of 30, chances are I'm most likely make north of about 3 to 5 appointments just because I already know what they're going to say. I already know what to expect. I just got to know that I believe behind the product that I'm selling and I know it's going to work. And that's it.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's extremely impressive. Actually, in fact, I mean, I know that you've demonstrated this for me multiple times in the past, but I was wondering if you would be willing to, if I invited somebody onto the Zoom call right now and you demonstrated like the cold calling process, like where they take you through it. Would you be open to that?
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool. So, I'm going to invite a couple of people. I've already sent out a message on Messenger. So let me just look at the replies and see who we got. And it's going to take a couple of seconds. And I'm just going to invite them right onto the Zoom call. So they'll be right on here. And then we'll be able to, what I'll do is I'll introduce them. And then we'll get started on that. So this is going to be exciting, man. You guys are in for an amazing treat. We got the cold calling assassin with us right here. This is amazing. We just got on Carlos Pineda.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
here.
Hey, how's it going, Carlos? So, are you familiar with cold calls?
Oh yeah, I've done cold call for about 5 years now.
All right, cool. So you're like the perfect candidate right now for Jayce for this demonstration. So I'm gonna give you a little scenario if you can. You're gonna play the prospect. You know what I mean? Somebody that you're gonna be called that you would normally call on a cold call. But I want you to
Yeah,
be the hardest type of prospect there is out there. Give it a
I
little
can
bit
do
of
that.
Yeah, you don't have to just hang up at the beginning, right? Like not that hard, but
No.
get
I'll
some
probably be the one
experience.
hanging up on this call.
Oh, I know the type, man.
Oh,
Oh.
Uh,
I
Trust me,
know.
I'm a true professional.
All right. No,
good,
I know
good.
the type. I've run into a lot of them. All right. So yeah, what's my role? What's
Okay,
my business, man?
let's say your business is in real estate. You're a real estate agent,
Oh, okay.
and you right now you're in the middle of cold calling prospects. You know, you get these leads. You're in the middle of calling them. You have an appointment here in about 30 minutes. So we want to see how Jayce handles it, on the fly right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ring you, and then you're going to just answer the phone call, hello. And then Jayce is going to do his thing, and then we're going to see the whole thing. Okay.
All right. Sounds amazing.
All right. Let me get muted here. Ready? Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Carlos, this is Jayce calling from Real Estate Media Company. What's going on, brother?
Not much. Working. Busy. What's up?
Well, Carlos, I know it's an unexpected phone call, but the reason I'm actually calling, I'm actually working with some of the competitors in the real estate market right now, and we're actually being able to increase their commissions annually by an extra $48,000 to $144,000 a year. What I just wanted to do is literally set aside 10 minutes for me to show you exactly how we're doing that. And we have a good day on your calendar to do that.
All right, no, that's okay, man. I'm already doing my thing. I mean, I'm actually really busy right now. I've been doing calling. Yeah, man. So I'm sorry. Now, perhaps another time, man. I do appreciate it, but no, it's okay.
Of course. Carlos, look, the fact that you're telling me you're busy right now, it tells me that I'm talking to the right guy. But right now, listen, the reason that you are,
as I said, I'm busy and I'm here talking to you, so you can imagine what that's doing to my business, right?
Of course. And guess what, Carlos? The reason I'm calling is because the guys that are supposed to be on this call are not on this call. I know that right now you're probably a one-man team.
Who's supposed to be? I mean, I'm here and you're here. Who also supposed to be here? Exactly. I mean, my clients could be in this call, but I'm not calling them because I'm talking to you. You know what I mean?
You're right. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you how to get more clients, so you don't have to worry about taking these calls like this with me anymore.
Oh, so you have experience in real estate? Or are you like a broker or agent?
Absolutely, brother. Listen, I work with realtors all the time, and what I'm seeing right now is literally being able to increase an extra 48 to another 144,000 per year. And I don't think for you it really matters, because maybe just for you, you're probably making more north than that. The fact that you're telling me you're taking the time out of your day to cold call, it tells me that you're actually committed to the grind. And right now, if I had to guess the type of person that you currently are, you're probably the type of person that's most likely the first one there and the last one out. And what I want to do is show you how you could go ahead and literally automate your business, so you don't have to do that anymore, and see how many millions you can make out of it. So all I want to do is
millions. Wow. And hey, man, so are you a millionaire?
Listen, I'm on my way, just like you are.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, if you're going to make me millions, I'm only assuming you're already doing that, right? I mean, how can I know your product is actually effective? I mean,
very simple. I'm very simple. I'm already working with your competitors. And if your competitors are already telling me about it, it's only a matter of time before you hear it. Last thing I want to do is come to you at the very end and see you literally reap the benefit at the very bottom, when you should be at the top with everybody else like me.
All right, okay, so how much it costs? I mean, just shoot straight, because I'm busy. I have a meeting in half an hour.
Carlos,
honestly, I don't want to be rude, but I don't have the time.
Absolutely.
And just tell me how much it is. I'll think about it, and if it makes sense, I'll give you a call back.
Beautiful. Let me tell you this at this point. Listen, our services right now is literally $3,000. But what I have to say is that at that point, even a Starbucks cup of coffee is too much money.
What's the ROI on that $3,000? All right, and what's the ROI on that $3,000? And when can I get it?
Absolutely. Hey, great freaking question, Carlos. Let me ask you this.
I know I'm great.
No, I know you are. What percentages are you taking home right now off of every sale that you make on every property? What's your percentage? 1, 2, 3% or more?
5 or 6. I mean, 8 if I represent both parties.
Oh, so you're double dipping then. Even better. No. So here's what we're doing. Okay, I'm gonna give you best and worst case scenario so you can better understand what we're doing. Typically, right now we're seeing that
I had 25 minutes left, man, and around 20, I gotta hang up. So, just,
that's Carlos. That's more than enough time. Trust me. I just need literally 60 seconds here.
All right,
right now we're seeing that we're being able to generate 50 leads. If even half of those leads show up, it's still 25. Out of 25, we're seeing about a 20% conversion. 20% conversion, we're looking at about 5 sales. 5 sales, if you're telling me you're taking about home of 80% out of, like, say, a 200,000, just to be north about it, we're looking north of about close to about.
How do you generate those leads? I mean, what are you doing different that I'm not doing? How are you getting those leads and I'm not?
We already have a system that works. We're doing Facebook ads. We're doing SEOs. We're already doing YouTube ads. You tell me, where do you want to put your face at, and I'll make sure we market you in the audience that you want to be labeled into. That's all. But I'm going to tell you right now, best case scenario, right? It's literally $16,000 per sale that you're basically telling me. If we do that times 5, we're looking at 80,000, literally best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you're doing about 40,000 extra per month. And even if you believe half of what I'm talking about is still an extra $20,000 that you're only investing $3K. So we're talking about an ROI of about 6.5% times of what you're actually going to be invest in order to get your money back. So literally, when can we set aside 10 minutes for me to show you exactly what I got? It doesn't have to be right now.
All right. Yeah, just give me a call. Hey, you know what? Why don't you leave me your information? I'll just give you a call. I'll think about it. It kind of makes sense. A couple of things you're
Yeah.
saying. I'll just give you a call when I'm ready.
Yeah, Carlos, you and I both know there's no such thing as you going to be ready. It's only a matter of now. So let's set aside this. I'm going to send you information regarding the pricing, the testimonials, but I know you wouldn't take me serious if I wanted to schedule a real date and time on your calendar to show exactly what I got. So you tell me what's a good date on your calendar. I got my calendar open right now for us to schedule a time that works best. All I need is 15 minutes.
Sure. All right. Friday at the end of the day. Be there, man. Don't be late.
Carlos, are you sure Friday? Because anytime people tell me Friday, that's typically when they're out there golfing. Are you sure Friday's going to work?
That's what I said, right?
Okay, just want to make sure you're not going to be golfing on me. What time Friday works best? I got 6, 7, or 8 available.
6 would be good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm putting down, what's your email? I'm going to send you a confirmation link right now.
Don't you have my email in there? I mean, you're calling me. Didn't you do your research when you were calling me?
I am calling you. And here's the fact. If I were to head and send an email and it sends to the wrong email, it's not going to collect the calendars. I just want to be a true professional and confirm we both have the right emails on file. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure. All right, my email is blah, blah, blah at blah, blah, blah.com. Got it?
Gotcha. I got it. And Carlos, before I hang up on myself, I just have one last question. Why are you giving me this appointment? Because I know a guy is not going to get on a call with me for tea and crumpets. You're going to get on a call to solve a problem. So what's the problem we're looking to solve on that call at Friday?
Well, it kind of looks like you know a little bit about what you're talking about, and I just wanted to see if you're, if you walk the walk, So yeah, I mean, I'm giving you a shot to at least explain in detail what you do, and yeah, I mean, it's $3,000 a month. You said.
Yeah.
Do they have any type of guarantee? I mean, do they have like a free trial?
So we do have a guarantee that if we can generate you 50 leads that are qualified buyers within literally a 30-day window, we'll return your money back. That's us saying we're going to put our money where our mouth is. So we'll go ahead and we can talk about that Friday. I just wanted to let you know that Friday at the time that you've already picked, that's actually my one call close slot. So keep in mind that I am going to be asking you for your credit card that Friday. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. If you convince me, I'll give it to you.
It's not about convincing. It's about solving a problem. Let's solve that problem for you so you don't have to be dialing like right now you are. Let's hire someone to do that job for you so you can focus on scaling your business and not in your business.
All right. Sure. Talk to you Friday.
Talk to you Friday, Carlos. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Boom. That was amazing, man. That was incredible. Hey, thanks for that, man.
Carlos.
I appreciate that. That was savage,
no problem.
bro. I mean, like he went into you. He was like grilling you, bro, and you just turned it right back around. That was impressive, man. You should see the chat, man. It's blowing up right now. Once you see this replay, you're gonna freak out, man. But all right, Carlos, so
I had it muted, so I'm just gonna bounce out of Zoom.
Okay,
Carlos,
cool.
thank you.
Go ahead.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, man. It's actually real good. I've been calling for 5 years now, doing close to 1,000 calls, and you definitely did amazing.
I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Good.
I love that role play, honestly.
Yeah, it was good. All right, so I'm just gonna bounce out of here and go into Facebook.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be able to do what you did, man. That's ingrained in you. You could tell that you have skills, man. That's incredible. So tell us a little bit. And now, just so you know, I'm gonna have one more person jumping on here. You okay with that?
Yeah, man. Why not? At this point, let me get the peanut butter out of my mouth. At this point,
I think you got it out on that last call, man. I think from here on forward, every call should be easy. If anybody could take a call like that, cold calling, they're definitely gonna convert, man. So now while we're waiting for her, why don't you give us a little bit of understanding, like where you're at right now, what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about your company, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. So recently I founded a company with some great business partners. We actually called it Growth Empire. So right now what we are is we are a recruitment company that we pretty much connect the sales professional with the actual, the job itself. And right now, a lot of people, it's just like you, Virgil, have been asking me, hey, can you teach me cold calling? And I'm at this point with scaling a company, the time of day that I would have to devote to that, it's unparalleled. It's, it just can't make it happen. So now pretty much I decided to create my course right here, which is Mastering the Cold Calling, really to take someone from A to Z, just the way I was learned. With setting the proper expectations, with setting the proper frameworks, just really understanding what it really takes for you to go through that and generate your own clients. I remember right before right when I left Cardone, it's not that hard if you already know what they're going to say. It's not hard at all. It's just really taking the time, being disciplined, and just applying everything you learn. That's it.
Yeah. And what would you say? Because like this is definitely, it's going to be more militant. It's almost like a boot camp, right? So like there's people that obviously they fail in doing this, and this is probably like the most extreme type of psychological, I guess you could say, failure. You know what I mean? Like people go through that a lot. So like as far as like what you saw in your journey, like what was it like the failure rate versus like who actually got as good as you have? Because you're the only person that I've actually met that does what you do as
Mhm.
good as you do. And I know there's probably many more out there, but I just haven't met them. So I'm just curious to know, like, if this was a boot camp, how many people are left standing at the end of this?
That's a great question. Uh, Look, when it comes to the scale, it's yeah, you see how easy it is, you see how easy I make it look. But again, I was doing $300 to $500, and on one day out of the month, I would do $600 to test my limit. So I remember working this schedule of working, 18-hour shifts. And in those 18-hour shifts, I'm literally working for 8 hours. But at the same time, my sales training was involved for another heavily 4 hours. And then on top of that, my workout regimen and just adding everything like if it was literally, a military boot camp in a way. So when I decided to create this, this curriculum of mastering the cold call, I wanted to pretty much do everything I was taught when it came to cold calling and pretty much every step, just outline it step by step, which comes to the schedule, which comes down to the discipline, knowing how many dials you have to do. If you don't have a dialer, just dial on your phone. If you don't, if you're at that point want to role play, I would role play with myself because I had a 45 to an hour drive. If there was traffic, it would be an hour and a half. And I would be role playing on my phone, just on my phone. What is everything that could possibly someone tell me to make sure I'm well aware, I'm ready, lock and loaded, I'm just wanting to pull the trigger. That's it. So it's everything that I learned in a military style way, and that's really what paid off.
Yeah, that I agree with that. I mean, it's almost like you have a special round for every single no or whatever it is that they have objection, and obviously you know how to handle that, man, because that was incredible. So I have one more person on the call with us right now. This is Jeanette Longoria. She's actually inside of a business right now that does cold calling. And so she's going to demonstrate like what it is that she goes through inside of a cold call.
Sure. Yeah, great.
Okay, great. So you know we're not playing nice, right? We're trying to get either Jayce to hang up on you or you to hang up on Jayce, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So I'm gonna ring you, and then you're just gonna answer the phone call and take it away from there, Jayce. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jeanette, this is Jayce calling from Winmar Solar. How you doing?
Good, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm doing amazing. I know it's an unexpected phone call, but the reason I'm actually calling is we're actually down the block from you with your neighbors, and we're actually being able to help them save their electric bill an extra $125 every single month. I just want to show you exactly what we're doing that's actually getting these amazing, obviously, savings for them. When will you have literally 10 minutes for me to show you how to do just that?
You know what? We looked into that before, and there's been people coming to our doors, knocking on our doors. We're just really not interested in looking into that right now. We looked into it in the past, and it's not something we're going.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you at this point. Obviously, it seems like you've done your homework. I'm just curious, before I hang up myself, can I ask you one last question?
Sure.
Okay. Why didn't it work in the past exactly?
The numbers don't make sense. All the deals we've got, they want this huge upfront, payment that we can't afford, or, they have this escalator thing, which, just keeps going up and up. And, I'm not sure how too many of these people are affording it, but it just it's not in our budget right now. So we looked into it, and the numbers just aren't working for us right now. But thank you for your call. I appreciate it.
No. Of course. And Jeanette, before I hang up, can I ask you just one last question? What do those numbers look like for you exactly?
They're looking, I don't know, it was somewhere between like 22,000 up to like even higher. It was pretty hefty to come up with out of pocket.
That was for the solar, right? For you to go ahead and put it on the roof, or do you want to put it on the ground?
On the roof. Yeah,
On the roof?
there's no room here to put anything on the ground. Yeah,
Okay.
it would be on the roof.
Yeah, gotcha. And I'm
Yeah.
assuming your
You-
roof is
you-
about less than 10 years old.
Right?
Say
Like,
that again?
You said you were down the street, right? Like, so you're in
Yeah.
our neighborhood.
Yeah. We're in the neighborhood. I'm giving a call because last thing I want to do because of COVID, you know, want to take safety precautions in mind and want to be respectful to every single homeowner. That's why we're definitely doing our diligence and giving you a call. But I'm assuming safe to say that obviously your roof is less than 10 years old. That's why they were giving you obviously those sort of prices for your solar, right?
I'd imagine. I'm not sure. I don't work in the industry, so I wouldn't know, you know, why the prices are that way. But you know, that's what they were given.
No, of course.
How'd you
And
get
at
my
this
number
point,
anyway? Which neighbor are you calling from that had my number?
yeah, it's funny that you said it. We were actually down the street and we were asking any of the neighbors who, hey, you know, if you know anybody in this neighborhood who do you think would benefit from going solar and saving money on their electric bill, you know, go ahead and, you know, referral. So Jeff, I don't know if you know Jeff down the street, he referred you over to us. And that's why I said, you know, I take full responsibility for it being a cold call. But I just want to do my diligence. And if, you know, if I could understand, you know, what you're paying right now, and if I could help you some sort of way save money in the next 25 years, that means the world to me because I truly believe going solar is the way to saving electric and also money for you as a homeowner.
No, I definitely understand the idea of saving within the next 25 years, but according to what we can afford right now, it's just not in the cards.
Of course. What can you afford right now?
Not much other than, you know, just the basics.
Gotcha.
You know,
What does that look like on a dollar amount?
All right, let's pause it right there. I think we got the point. You already got her on the call. Obviously, she was gonna hang up, right? And she still stayed on the call. That was freaking amazing, man. I see everybody commenting on it. There's a lot of people that are already inquiring. Jeanette, I wanted to say thank you for joining us on this. That was impressive because I could tell that you were about to hang up. You don't want to be rude while he was talking. You kind of hung on there, and that's typically what we'll see from prospects like that. You know, it doesn't matter who it is, but if they're saying I'm not interested, okay, thank you, bye, and then they'll still kind of stay on the phone call, right? So excellent prospect you played there for us. I think you demonstrated very well how to do that. Jayce, what did you think?
I definitely want to connect with you, Jeanette, after this so we could put a script together to helping you get some deals in solar, honestly.
Thank you. That would be absolutely amazing. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right, that was impressive, man. So you gave us 3 different demonstrations of cold callings from easy to like impossible. That was the second one, and then this one, of course, which was a level of difficulty. Thank you, Jeanette. We're actually going to I'm gonna if you can join us back on Facebook Live. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Jayce to help us out. So tell us again, you have this program right now that you've launched, right? Tell us a little bit more about it. Like, what do you have going on? I already see in the chat, a couple of people are asking me like, where do I sign up? Where can I get some more information? They love this, man. So can you tell us a little more about it so that, you know, give them an understanding, a general understanding of what it is that you have going on right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, again, this whole program revolves around you being a sales professional and you mastering your craft. As a sales professional, it's, you know, it's not about this whole, you know, high ticket closer bullshit. It's not about being an inbound. You know, when I got into sales, it was just me understanding that I need to be well-rounded in every aspect. So, you know, I personally believe that nowadays, I feel like cold calling is definitely some sort of dying, you know, breed where people either don't know how to really do a cold call or they've just never been taught the way. And if they've, you know, some miraculous way been taught the way, they have barely ever shared it with anybody. So when I was putting this together, again, it was just so happened that, you know, you business partners were just asking me like, hey, create, you know, why don't you create something where people could actually listen to your calls or your recordings or to generate high, you know, paying clients? Because honestly, what I teach my students is you just got to have fun with it. I already know that they're going to hang up on me. I already know they're going to be rude. I already know that they're going to, you know, say some sort of fornicated word to me. But if I don't take that to the heart and I just let it go in one ear, out the other, and on to the next one, we make appointments. It's not that bad. But in order to get to where I am, it takes frequency, it takes discipline, and it takes a lot of repetition to get to that state. And what you're hearing right now is the final product of all that put together. And with that being said, that's why I created this, is literally to take someone that's never had any experience through a cold call, tell them exactly what the expectations are going to be, literally tell you exactly how long it's going to take for you to craft this skill. This is not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen, in a month. It took me literally, and just for you guys know that are watching, it takes, like they always say, it takes 10,000 hours for you to master your craft. Well, those 10,000 hours also correlate to the amount of dials that you put in. So if you're going to go ahead and master this craft, it literally takes, around 10,000 to maybe 20,000 dials for you to pop. I was doing it for 2.5 years. So when I actually counted up the dials of how many dials I've done, it was over 184,000 dials.
Ooh, that's a
total.
lot.
Total. So I already know exactly what they're going to say. I already know exactly what someone's going to tell me. It's just a matter of, am I prepared, right? Am I prepared? And do I know what they're going to tell me when they're not interested? Am I busy? I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I'm already doing this. Send me some information on the email. It's understanding what are the most common things they're going to tell you. I feel that right now, and I think everybody here can agree with me on this, is sales is there's a lot of regurgitated information. By me showing you this, you're not going to find regurgitated information anymore, because I'm going to show you where to find your clients. I'm going to show you how to talk to them. I'm going to show you what to expect. I'm going to show you exactly how to handle it. I'm going to show you exactly how to close the deal. And I think that's the problem, is that a lot of these so-called curriculums, they're handicapping the sales professionals that are coming into this new wave of sales, want to be closers. But listen, most of these people can't even close an automatic door on the way out. Just being honest, right? Well, by you now implementing a new skill that's going to show you how to generate your own appointments, you're not going to be reliant on the business owner to give you any sales. I remember, I think it was with you, if I'm not mistaken, we literally got a list of 30 leads each. And I said, hey, Virgil, I'll be, whoever gets to, let's make a little fun game of who gets to 3 or 4 appointments first. And literally took me like less than half an hour to get 3 appointments.
Yeah, it was about 20 minutes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just to get the appointment. And literally the people are like, hey, I want to go work for you. And that's another thing you're going to hear. When you get so good, people are going to compliment you, and they're going to say, hey, I want you to come work with me. And that's when I turn it back around and says, yeah, well, I am going to come work for you. Just do me a favor, send a dotted line and give me your credit card, and my whole team will come work for you. So
Absolutely,
it's just being automatic.
Yeah,
So
I've seen it myself personally with real customers, real cold calls, real getting all the way. And at the end, they're asking if they can work with him, if they can learn from him. It's impressive, man. It's something that I've never seen before, and I definitely did enjoy going through that. So one thing that I do want to point out is that you didn't share like you have with me. And if you don't mind, can we get a little bit personal with
Sure.
and share like the real process, man? Like tell us what it took to get to be a master at that. I meant, and now keep in mind,
I don't want to scare people away though.
Right. So that's why let me pre-frame this. So keep this in mind that what Jayce had learned and what he had to endure was on a very, it was almost like on a time release, like those time release capsules where they only feed you a little bit at a time, and it made it very agonizing for him to go through that cold calling, not just for him, but anybody that was in the program with him. So what he's developed here is a easy step-by-step process on how to cold call. And not only that, but you're getting his support as well as mine on this cold calling process, because like I've developed a thick skin, through sales. And just, whenever I saw cold calls, I was like, no, thank you. But now I'm intrigued, you know what I mean? Because I do like challenges. But whenever I saw a challenge that was impossible, or I thought was impossible because I didn't have the right training, I would say no way. But definitely it's helped me out, and I'm going to continue to use it. And by no means am I a master, but I know that repetition helps prepare us for the real deal. And even break down like the I know that you gave us a little bit of details, but like how many calls you had to make before your first close or before your first booked appointment, and how much you reduced that by during that process. But get real with us here, man. Let us know what the process was.
So
people are going through this right now. That's why I want to share them.
So it gets very emotional, because see, when I got into this, no one told me the expectations. No one outlined for me what's what's gonna take place or how to expect. All they said is cold call, You're going to be cold calling dealerships. Pretty much, guys, think about it this way. Imagine you're selling a sales training to a dealership and you have somewhat no experience. Think about it. If you think you have experience, you probably have no experience. And you're trying to convince a owner that either has 1, 2, or I don't know how many locations, that this is the best platform to have your guys on, right? And, you know, when you're going through that and nobody tells you what the expectations are, it feels, you start questioning every single day, are you good enough? Right? You start questioning yourself, is this even worth it? And I remember at the time, I was working for a vacations company. It was doing well. I got terminated for giving a sale, and I had another job in line to work for another top cruise line and sell their vacation packages. And I decided no, because I didn't want to go backwards in life. And that's always been the type of person I am. I don't want to go backwards. So I decided to go, work for, one of the top sales experts out there. And as soon as I got there and I got the job, setting the appointment wasn't that difficult because I knew it was all a matter of numbers game, just like anybody else. But not knowing that it takes about 12 weeks to close a sale from the moment you start I was not prepared for that. My first sale with that, came around a day 123 or 125. And every single day that I was driving back home, it was an emotional wreck. Imagine a 26-year-old, 27-year-old man driving back home, and every single day you're literally crying because you don't know if you're good enough to be, with the big dogs that are there. And because you start questioning every single one of your moves, you start thinking to yourself, are you good enough? Until you start hearing everybody else's story that they're in the same boat, the same shoe that you're in. And it became very emotional every single day, asking myself, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Just going through that battle. And, even though I had people that wanted me to come work for them, I still haven't closed a sale. And these sales are not, 5,000, 10,000, or 15,000. Some of these sales, they start off about north of about 24,000, all the way up to over 100,000 for that sale. And it becomes emotional because you don't know at this point, you lost faith. At this point, you just know you just got to keep dialing and dialing. And, chances are the reason there's such a high, turnover in sales is because they don't create the performance conditions, or they don't create that environment for that, or the expectations are not in line with that. So, every single day for over, close to 4 months, literally driving home for an hour crying. Didn't know if I was good enough to be there. Did not know if my skills were up to par, no matter how many times I wrote down every single word for word, no matter how many times I wrote down every single complaint versus objections that I could hear. I started questioning, was I ever good enough for that? And then finally, the magic literally happened. And finally, I got my first sale, which was a pretty big sale. But needless to say that the setup fee that was not involved in that, which is what I would get paid on, the closer at the time, good guy, just dropped his pants. And instead of getting paid $6,000 on that, or getting paid like $3,000 on it, got paid $0 because he didn't know how to negotiate. And if I would have been on that call negotiating, it would have been a different story. So yeah, you see the final product, you see me handling this like if it's a walk in the park, but what you don't see is the amount of effort and time, literally tears every night, not knowing if I was capable of doing this. And that, fast forwarded to now, I'm blessed to say, like I said, partnered up with you, partnered up with some great, individuals, and literally, my life has literally been, turned around now that this whole thing for me is wanting to show people a skill that's going to last them a lifetime. I don't want you to sit back on your back and just wait for the leads to come in. I want you to go hunt your own leads, because that's where the true, the reward is. When you're out there hunting your own leads, making things happen, literally getting paid more for it, it's more rewarding. I don't, if you know me, I've never been the type of person that waits for things to happen. Even, still to this day, anybody that knows me knows I'm the type of person that goes to make things happen. No matter if it takes massive action or it takes any sort of frequency for me to be up on, I'll go ahead and I'll do it. That's just the level that I work on. I don't think about something. I figure out the problem after I created it.
Right. Yeah. And it shows, man. I meant the results are there. So Do you mind sharing with everybody? Because I already know how much you made like in the past 3 months, man. But do you mind sharing with everybody like what it is that your skill is getting you right now? And if you don't mind, show us your place, man, because I know that it's legit.
From the time we founded Growth Empire, which is really a recruitment company, we did north of about I think we went from 0 to about 80,000 in about 8 weeks, organically. That was literally organically.
Wow.
That was no marketing. It was just organically. Again, partnered up with some great business partners. Opened up my eyes to what possibility lies there. But it was great. It was great. Just came back from a 2-week vacation in Colorado. Had a great time. Like you already know, I was already there. Just trying to be anywhere that COVID isn't, pretty much, so to say. Not like here in Miami where there's over 600,000. But yeah, speaking of the place that I am now, it's just recently moved to Brickell, pretty much is what you would call it. Let me just show you the view that I have here. Give me a second.
Yeah, if you don't mind, that's gonna be amazing, man.
That's the reason why I got this place. So
yeah, he's been killing it.
So I don't know if you can see that.
Ooh.
But I'm on the 38th floor now. And pretty much anybody that lives here in Miami knows this building here. Very popular. You got the beach, you got everything there. But yeah.
That's incredible, man. That looks amazing. You deserve it, man. You've worked. I mean, all of that hard work that you put into it. Not only have you achieved one level of success, because I know you have way bigger goals, but also we wanna understand that when you are while you're going like in your journey in the future, you put together this program that makes it easier. Like in other words, people are going to see what you've accomplished, and the type of cold calling that you were doing. Just so everybody knows, keep in mind this, that and there's a lot of different kinds. So let's break it down. Like number one, we have the ones where when you're selling to everybody, you're selling to nobody, right? That's like the worst of the worst, because really it's just a real generalized, not niche. There's no interest. You got to build up interest from nothing, and you can do that with your process. But the way that you're making money is you go to the next level up and you find a need, you fill a need, and then you're using that cold calling process to convert a lot easier. Now, I know that you didn't mention this, but you're able to convert like on these more niche opportunities anywhere between 1 to 3 out of every 5 calls, which I've seen myself, which is incredible. You know what I mean? A lot of people are lucky if they can get 1 or 2. I think out of that list of 30, I only did like 2. You knocked out, what was it, 3? And within 20 minutes, I was still calling. And when we came back, that's when you started sharing me like how it is that you did what you did, which is impressive, man. Because, yeah, granted, you don't want to go into something where you have to sell nothing to nobody, or if you're selling something to if everyone's your audience, you're not going to sell anything. I absolutely agree. But if you have something that's very niche, and it is going to be a cold calling process or an outbound process, it's definitely going to be extremely effective and put you into a place like Jayce is living at right now. So where can we find out about your program? Like, do you have a link that you can share with us, or a website?
Yeah, so they could just type in my name, JayceGrayye.com, and they'll be able to go ahead and see the website that's on there.
All right, I'm going to spell it out. So just to make sure, it's JayceGrayye.
You forgot the R.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Thank you.
It's okay.
So JayceGrayye.com. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, man. And man, this was incredible. I didn't know that this was going to be so action packed for this hour. What else can we expect from you? Like
So
go ahead.
So as we're building Growth Empire, we're doing it's a recruitment company first. We are going to be, obviously those who do enroll in the course, what we're going to try to do is we're also going to try to find new placement with the opportunities that we do have. So in a way, we're connecting you to pretty much job opportunities, where we will have people that are interested in people that can outbound as well as inbound, and as well as just, hire more sales professionals. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm actually going to be creating more content not just mastering the cold call, but I'm going to be creating more content. The next one really that I'm going to create is we're right now developing it, but it's just we're trying to make sure that you master these skills, because it doesn't look at the end of the day. It's skill for you to build a skill. It takes time. I don't recall anybody that just wanted to jump into sales. I knew I did when I was a kid, but that's a different story. Not everybody wants that. But I never wanted to be this inbound closer or HCC. I just wanted to be a sales professional, sales expert. So now that I'm at the point where I know exactly what I'm talking about, I know exactly how I can help someone generate leads through the phone, then this is what I'm going to be start creating more and more content to help those who actually want to obviously create a business, a book of business that they don't have to rely on. All I say is, you want to have three things that when it comes to selling that you stand by. One is sell something you love and something you stand behind, that's your passion. Two, make a list out of it. And then three is just sell to it 24/7. If you're able to do that, there's no reason you can't clear, 50 to 100K every single month, depending on the service or the product, or being the number one person, in your field, respective fields. But standing behind that, if you do that, anywhere you go, you're going to crush it. You're definitely going to crush it. I remember when I was selling vacations, I was the employee of the month in March 3 years ago, just because I truly believed, and I had no database whatsoever, but I sell the hell out of it because I genuinely loved it. I genuinely love it. And that's what I encourage everybody to do, is just literally find something that you love and you're passionate about, make a list and sell it 24/7.
That's awesome.
Trust me when I say your confidence will go through the roof when you're looking to help others.
Right. Yeah. And in the original post that I had posted in my, on my profile, was that I always thought, and this is stemming back to because people would just say, yeah, cold calling's easy. That's how you can make your first $1 million or whatever. And I was like, yeah, whatever. But they don't really, they talk the talk, but we don't see the walk. You know what I mean? And so you've demonstrated that, absolutely. But I always thought that it was only the business professional, the businessman, the business owner was the one that could accomplish that, because I figured, well, think about it. I thought about it this way. If you're a business owner, you have a product or whatever service, anything that's, let's say, for example, $50,000, well, you only have to sell, what is that, like 20 of them before you get to $1 million. You know what I mean? And in a cold calling process, that's great. But like as a remote closer, when you don't have a product and you're selling for somebody else, that's only 10%. So it's only 5,000. So it takes 200 before you get to that first million. And so I think that's where a lot of people lose that passion for cold calling. So if you're like, let's say, for example, because sales is a skill that you can use anywhere. So it's not just going to be about getting that opportunity with cold calling. If you can master this kind of process with cold calling, speaking to the audience, you can essentially do anything you want. You're limitless. Like, you can go into any opportunity, or you can develop your own niche, your own product, your own service, your own skill, whatever it is that you want to promote, and use this skill to make yourself 100% profitability. Just like Jayce Grayye now has his program. Now he gets to cold call and do it for himself. And that's how he didn't share that with us right now, but that's how he got his clients right now. So he's extremely resourceful. He doesn't just stop at just calling, like he shared with us during the role plays. He was reaching out on LinkedIn. He was reaching out on Facebook. He was reaching out to them anywhere possible. He's just extremely resourceful. And I do have two more questions before we go, because I know we're almost out of time. So the first question I have to ask is, do you have a mindset module? Because I know that that's extremely important in your program.
Yeah, I actually do, because all of this right here, everything that you do is 80 to 90% mental. If you prepare yourself mentally for what's about to come, it's, the rest is easy. The how is really the easiest thing in the world once you know how to get there. But you got to focus on the what. You got to focus on the what. And the what opens that investigation door. So we do have a mindset module on there where I started letting you know what are the expectations, what to expect, what's going to happen, and the fun thing about all this is that you've heard me on the phone, others have heard me on the phone. I literally, when I'm on the phone, I'm having the best time of my life. I'm not dreading it, because guess what? That's energy. People will remember how you make them feel, not what you say. And
it's not just you having fun. It's not just you having fun. It's everybody that's on that phone call, and everybody that's listening to you while you're on that phone call.
Everybody. Well, a good buddy of mine once told me, funny makes you money. And I remember
Absolutely.
when I was dreading it, and I remember it was 9 o'clock at night. I was still, my head was banging down. He literally comes over to me and he says, hey, bro, get off the seat, stand up, and just dial and have fun with it. You're gonna see how much fun. And literally, I kid you not, 3 calls later, he miraculously pulled an appointment, and it took me who knows how many 6 to 7 hours to set that other one. And I'm like, this guy just blew me away. This guy just did one appointment in 3 dials. I've been here for 7 hours trying to make 2, and he just did it in 3 calls. And it's so true. You gotta have fun with it, and funny makes you money, and it's just proper preparation with proper execution.
Very cool. All right, and the last question that I had for you, somebody asked inside of the audience, how long is a course for? So how long can they expect to, be in the course, I guess, that you're promoting now?
So it wouldn't say there's a length of time, because time is really irrelevant to all this. It's a matter of how long it takes you to master the skill, right? Because the course itself, I created it, I try to make it as short as possible, which is really 4 weeks, but there's so much data inside every single week of proper preparation. And the most important thing about all this right here is to make sure that you know exactly how to prepare. And you could knock it out faster. It doesn't mean that you're going to get to faster results. It's literally about inflow and outflow. I'm a big believer that if you're listening to my content for a solid hour, solid 2 hours, you're going to want to write it out for an hour, for 2 hours, because that's how you're going to really understand it. You got to write it out as many times as possible. I know that before I did any sort of presentation, I wrote out the presentation 10 times, word for word. Everything that you're seeing here right now is because I spent, like, say, 2 to 3 hours listening to it, and then I spent another 2 to 3 hours writing it all out. So it doesn't matter about how long it is. It matters how much of it can you actually listen to, and then go back in and apply it. And that's it. You're going to notice when people are trying to say, man, you got your script down. I want you to come work for me. Even when they hang up on you, listen, I got to the point where people hang up on me because they're like, I don't even know what else to tell this guy. Like, I already told this guy, come work for me. I don't know what else to tell this guy.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So that's what it is. It's just implementation, inflow, outflow. The course itself is 4 weeks, but again, there's so much data in every single week that chances are it's going to take longer than that for you to finish. But the reason I have it there is because I want you to have a system to fall back on, for you to always go back to, and just be able to master that craft, because anybody can do it. You just got to be willing to want to learn. That's it.
That's impressive. All right, so we got to wrap it up now. Thank you everybody for joining us on Facebook Live. Jayce Grayye at jaycegrayye.com. I did leave his link inside of the comments, so if you're interested, you can check there. I'll also have this posted on my Facebook group with his link inside of the description. And if you're looking for sales training, I put together a Facebook group to help anybody out, and it's typically outside of what you would see inside of these trainings. People that are experienced, that are experts, that are masters in their craft, sharing their experiences. So if you want to join that, I did also link it inside of the comments section. And I appreciate you, Jayce, coming on here and sharing us some amazing, things that you wouldn't see unless you were on the call with you. But it's been incredible, man. I had a fun time. I know everybody else did. Everybody's blowing up the chat right now, but it's great, man. So again, you can either find this here on my Facebook profile, in the group, or on YouTube. And any questions that you have, feel free to reach out to me or Jayce. We've been more than happy to help you out. I appreciate everybody on the call, and take care. Take care, Jayce. Appreciate it.